Good day, viewers. You're live with Tribune Online TV, and welcome to another episode of Trending Matters. I am Deborah Mustafa. On the show today, we'll talk about this assault that is popular and is rampant in our society. I'm not alone. I'm with a special guest, somebody you like to see and also hear from concerning this issue, in person of Dr. Mrs. Tayo Lewis. Thanks for joining me on the show, ma.
Thank you very much.
It's my pleasure, ma. Ma, what can you say about the word assault? What does it mean?
Well, in English, assault simply means a physical attack.
Physical attack.
Yes.
I said earlier that assault is rampant in our society. What do you think is responsible for such acts?
Well, when you talk of assault, I think we have to look at it in different perspectives. Assault can be on different objects, maybe between wife, from a husband to a wife, and it can also be from a wife to a husband, can be from a citizen to a police officer, can also be from a police officer to a citizen. It depends on the context. But basically, assault is something that has to do with the infliction of physical force on the other person. Okay. So I don't know in which context.
Looking from the angle of this senator that assaulted a woman at the supermarket, what do you have to say about that, ma'am? What do you think is responsible for that?
Well, you see, some of these things are eternal. Eternal in the sense that they are not just happening now, and they are not going to stop happening now. It is certainly a very bad, very negative attitude. It's a reflection of negative acculturation. When you begin to inflict violence on either a child or a man to a woman, it is a reflection of a psychosocial disorder in the aggressor, because human beings communicate, and you're supposed to communicate. If you cannot effectively communicate while controlling your anger, it is a reflection of a minus in your persona. In the particular case of the so-called senator, I consider it a very sad reflection on the youth of this nation. Because unfortunately for us in Nigeria, he's the youngest member of that house. He represents for us a future, and to be caught in this kind of web is very unfortunate. But the whole story sounds a bit fuzzy to me. Like I said, from generations, the rich oppress the poor. It's not as if it is a positive thing. But my question is, why now? For me, I know that criminality can always be investigated and punished, but I'm saying that the rate at which this herd mentality, the road to which we are going, is very dangerous. Because when a society goes down that road, you never know what can happen. Nobody has the brakes. And even the victim, sometimes at the end, may become the conqueror because of mob reactions and comments. He ends up being the winner. We have to be careful.
Okay, looking at it from this angle of Pastor Fatoyinbo and Dakolo Busala, that it was exposed of recent that they had that actually happened 16 years ago.
16 years.
What do you have to say about that, man?
My own opinion, I will tell you as a Nigerian, I will tell you as a Yoruba woman, I will tell you as a married woman who's been married for 25 years, I will tell you as a member of the academia, I will tell you as a journalist. I insist and say that even this public outrage is not sufficient to punish anybody for rape. At the end of the day, everything will simmer down and then life continues. Why did the Dakolos not go to court? We must ask them that question.
Instead of
that is one. The social media is a whip, but is it a sufficient whip for rape? If actually there was rape, because after listening to the whole stories and examining the whole scenario, I think it was more of a case of adultery than rape. You don't rape people 2 times now. How can you rape a single human being 2 times? Excuse me. Somebody is not just telling us the whole story here. If he raped you the first time, that is somebody that there must be a very long distance between you at every time, because for you the signification of that person is that of terror and horror. So you don't want to come near. How then do you explain a situation where you were raped 3 times in Ilorin, and then now you as a grown-up graduate at the only church in the whole of Abuja that you consider fit for your membership is the church pastored by that your aggressor? How do you reconcile that? It is either, and I think that was what happened. There was a mutual relationship, mutually beneficial, symbiotic relationship. Now that the Dakolos are crying wolf, they are media people, so they probably needed the publicity. Now they've had it. We should wait for September or October and see what happens. If they really needed justice, they should have gone to the courts or to the police. The semen may be dry, but they probably have witnesses. If those witnesses can stand up in court, then the impression we are being given here is that the Dakolo woman was a baby who couldn't make up her mind. But in the north, if history and information serves me right, usually by the time you finish secondary school, you are grown. And she had finished secondary school. She was doing a course that we refer to as A-levels down south. So she was in a position to tell or shout or complain or not go near him ever again. But there was a second time. Excuse me.
Ma, you said it all.
Yeah.
What are the measures you think can be applied to eradicate these acts?
The first thing is that the youth of this generation should learn discipline. Yes. People talk about Obafemi Awolowo. One of the critical ingredients that made up the Obafemi Awolowo personnel was discipline. I have the privilege of interviewing several of his colleagues. I interviewed Babala before he passed on. I interviewed Chief Bola Ige and several others like that. And Babala particularly told me of an instance when they went to campaign in Warri, and all of them would go to town. But Baba would be alone in their place of accommodation. I would be wondering, where are these people gone to? And it took discipline to do that kind. When Baba died, there was nobody who brought any child and said that he had a child. It took a lot of discipline. So the youth of this generation, number one, must learn discipline. You must curtail 2 very critical urges: the sexual urge and the food urge. Those are very strong impulses. You need to be able to control it. Any man who cannot control those 2 levels, you are not likely to go very far. There may be a flash in the pan kind of wealth, popularity and all of that, but it will fade because you don't have the petrol, the fuel to make it go very far. Then the youth of this nation, they have to also learn, especially the feminine gender, that their body is very precious and they must treat it as such. One, when you go to church And you cannot say mo dúró yìí, mo bẹ̀rẹ̀ gbéga. We are seeing everything, you know, either here or there. That is very bad. That is not the kind of person that will be a good mother. I feel very saddened by the Dakolo incident. I keep saying Dakolo incident because for me, those 3 children, nobody is thinking of them. Those 3 children, how can they face their mates in school? Those 3 children, do they think that children in primary school of this generation don't know what rape is and say, oh, I saw it. They say your mommy was raped. You know, their psychology, they have chewed too much. And let me tell you one thing, no sane Yoruba man will come out to say my wife was raped. I think there is more. Sanity may be because of, insanity may be as a result of anger. You know, when you are really annoyed, sometimes if you cannot also control anger is a problem. Yes. And then you begin to say things that you ought not to say. So, and it's taking you this long to begin to raise this allegation. If you are really serious about justice and not sensation, go to court. Make your point and get justice to be served. That is the point. You don't go around rabbiting over issues of morality. You take the steps that the law has laid out, follow it to a logical end, and let others who are raping people learn that you will be caught eventually. But in this situation, I don't see anything being the gain except the hurt that those children will eternally feel, even when they are old enough to marry. We may think that this is a digital age, IT age, but somebody in the family of their intended spouse will remember, oh, that's the family that the wife was raped by a pastor. This is Africa. This is not Europe.
Okay. Ma, what advice do you have to say to the women in particular? And to the society as a whole?
I think a woman reserves the right to protect herself. She has a father. The father reserves every right to protect the young girl. If she has a husband, every husband has the responsibility to protect the wife. And I think particularly Timmy has not protected his wife in this. If he wanted a fight, he should have done it without letting her being so obviously in. And then I think that the girl also holds herself the responsibility of protecting herself. One, by being properly covered. You don't have to be in a burqa to do that head to toe covering. What you can do is to make sure that you are decently, even when people see you, they see you are dressed. The Yorubas will say, "Irinisi ni soni lojo." So when they see you, they know this one will not agree, as they say, you know, go agree. So they know who to. They know the men are lions. They are stalkers. They know the ones that can be conquered, and they know the ones that, you know, whatever you do, they are not likely.
Okay, ma, you really are mad on this Timmy Dakolo's family. What can you say about the protest that was done last Sunday?
No, we know how this thing they work out now. That one not be protest. That one is just organized for and against, so that they clash at the gates and there is trouble. You see, let me tell you, I said I was reacting as a Christian. I want to note this thing before I leave. In the book, somewhere in the book of Proverbs, the Bible says that woe to him who yields himself as an instrument of oppression. Anybody, and I repeat, anybody who says, I am a pastor, as far as I am concerned, is a pastor until he proves himself. And anybody who says I am a pastor is answerable to God and will be effectively and efficiently dealt with by God when he misbehaves. Because the Bible says that judgment will begin from the altar. It is not my responsibility
to judge,
to punish somebody who claims. He's only claiming, no. I was not there when he was anointed, so I don't know if he is or if he's not, but God does. So if if God, who knows all hearts and intents, cannot punish him, what punishment do I have? But if I am personally assaulted, I have rights under the law to complain to a policeman and go to court and get justice. That is what they should have done in this place.
Thank you so much, Mike. It has been a great time with you.
My pleasure.
At this juncture, we have to come to the end of the show. Join on another episode of Trending Matters, the panel to discuss trending issues. I remain your favorite, Deborah Mustafa. To the next show, stay connected. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to Tribune Online TV for more updates and program. To the next show, stay connected.